Hello, my name is Chris Lapadillos of Anastasiopoulos, and this is Man Free World. And we are I want to talk about today this article that came up. And this came up the last election cycle. And what we're likely going to see is more of this kind of reporting for this next cycle. And yeah, I just want to share it with you guys. Let me get this all straightened out here. All right, looks pretty good. Okay, so tiny cosmic particles can cause planes to free fall, freeze computers, and can even change the outcomes of elections. Scientists say. You'll love that line, right? That's always a good indicator of journalistic integrity. Anyway, this came out in 2017. Um, yeah, so this is going to be part of this cycle coming up here for the elections. Because of this, even change the outcome of elections. I am terrible at reading, but I want to read this to you because it's important to know some of the psyops that are going to be coming down the pike and how full of bullshit they are. Okay, so they say that tiny cosmic particles can have serious impacts on Earth, causing election votes to be miscounted, planes to free fall, and computers to reboot. Scientists say. These cosmic particles can hit electronic devices on Earth, which can cause components to burn out and cause malfunctions. Okay, well, I'm going to get into that a little bit because that's not quite exactly how it works. Cosmic particles can come from cosmic rays outside our solar system. They crash into the Earth's atmosphere, causing creating a range of particles, including protons, electrons, X-rays, and gamma rays that can penetrate aircraft. These cosmic particles constantly hit the Earth and can cause bits of information in electronics to change. That is true, but the kinds of electronics that we're going to be using are they have all kinds of what's known as error correcting technology built into them. Because yeah, this stuff goes bad all the time, especially these SSDs and things like that. Yeah, now the older devices like hard disks and things like that. Yeah, if the right head is being hit by an X-ray while it's in the read write position, yeah, I could see that being a problem. But there's all this error correcting stuff even with that was built into it to make it uh be overcome that. And what they mean by error correcting, instead of having just one bit, like early computers, all RAM was just one bit. It was the like, capacitance inside the thing, or a ring magnet, which was not susceptible to cosmic rays at all. But the static RAM, capacitance RAM, they have like a little electrical charge kept in between. Yeah, an X-ray can punch into that space and knock out the electrical charge. Yeah, that's true. If it's one bit, um, so the idea of error correcting codes is that instead of using one bit, we use 2 bits, or 3 bits, or 4 bits, or a line of bits, and then something that you add up all the bits, and whatever the result is, that if it's even or odd, yeah, it's called a parity bit. It's like you add up all the bits that you want, and there's an extra bit, and is that one or zero? It means that these are all even or odd. So that's just a really simple way of doing it. You can get much more sophisticated. There's all kinds of sophisticated error correction stuff that we're using in all this modern technology to get these things to communicate at all. Because if you use the raw data signal, yeah, it's noisy as hell. Holy crap, that radio band is noisy as hell. But the frequency hopping technology and all the different using FM technology, all that stuff, it tends to reduce the problem. Now it still can happen, but it's so rare that would actually flip a bit that the odds of it actually happening inside of a computer are so astronomically high in these voting machines that it may not even be considered even as a rounding error. It's like so statistically small that it would happen that it's basically zero. I mean, maybe there would be such a cascade of events that would have to happen that to bring this up in a headline, it's looking at the tiniest events and going, "Hey, this may happen." Like, there's thousands and thousands of things that could happen that are way more likely than a proton being decaying into an X-ray hitting it. Also, oh, I heard cat. I like to keep when I travel and stuff, just to be because I'm nerdy as fuck. And here it is, the graph of the current, what's currently happening. I know it's backwards, but so every little tick you hear is a cosmic ray or some kind of background radiation. Who knows? It could be. There's no way to know. Now, what I do know is that there are times, and it doesn't seem to be any pattern to it, that this thing will go crazy. Instead of just doing a tick, 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 tick for the background radiation that's coming off of decaying stuff around here, who knows where it's coming from? They don't even. No one really knows. There's not literally easy ways to tell, because to use a detector, you have to detect it, and then that you don't know where it came from, because anyway, that's how they just have a hard time figuring out where the stuff comes from. But they can know when this detector inside here is getting hit by one of these things, and it's very rare. But every once in a while, and the only way I know is because I have one of these devices. I keep them on all the time, and I keep it tick 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 because it's background. There will be storms, and there'll be not just tick tick tick, but like it'll start to be so many x-rays impacting that this thing just goes crazy. It just sounds like wind. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like the first time it happened, I was like, what the fuck is wrong with this thing? I looked at the meter, and it was 100 times more the normal range. Feel nothing, see nothing, look around. There's no effect on any of that. Everything's working perfectly fine. Everything's great. Everything's perfect fine. And there's thousands more times normal. And then it lasts, man, it lasts for like, sometimes it goes on for an hour. It went on for an hour, sometimes 15 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes, sometimes just little short jolts. It's like, okay, where did that come from? Where's that going through? All right, so yes, this is a thing, but they have a lot of stuff already in the systems that are dealing with things that just happen electrically in the RF spectrum. Uh, so this article is bullshit. It's bullshit, and he even says it here. It says it's a really big problem. It's mostly invisible to the public. Yeah, because we engineer around it for since the 70s. Come on, stop. The semiconductor manufacturers are very concerned with the problem. It's getting more and more serious as science and shrink down its power, the power and capacity of our digital systems increase. Yeah, that means we can put more error correcting bits in there, jackass. What the hell are you talking about? In addition, microelectronic circuits are everywhere. Our society is becoming increasingly dependent on them. Yeah, who wrote that? It's just so silly. Professor Baba also said that in SEU, there's like one of these events hitting my thing here, SEU. Could happen for more than one reason. It's only possible to say what caused a tiny particle if all the other particle reasons could be excluded. You had to put that in there. I just read that. Professor Baba said that an SEU could happen for more than one reason. Oh shit, Dick Tracy. And it's only possible to say it was caused by a tiny particle if other possible reasons have been excluded. Stop. Those guys are just stretching. Because these SEU events can have an impact on safety as well as socioeconomic issues such as elections. These guys are so bad. Electronic voting machines are so terrible. Guaranteed they're cheating with those things. The fact that they're not open source and they've been caught so many times and been proven to be so easily hacked. There's no democracy. Why do people even bring that up? Because I guess it's just, I just people don't know to look into any of this shit because it takes a tiny little bit more than the regular knowledge they're spewing out on these freaking rags here. This is obviously written by CIA because they go right into the least likely thing to possibly have to go into details about it. Stop. This is silly. Oh, yeah. An SCU malfunction? Oh, yeah, it was the SCU. No, it wasn't. This is cover shit. This is straight up cover story stuff. Yes, they have all the redundant systems. Yeah, the same computers in space because it's definitely a little bit more activity out in space because we have less shielding and less atmosphere to bounce it off and everything. So by the time it gets down to the Earth, yeah. So yeah, they already know about us. Like this is generally known shit, basic digital communications technology bullshit, and they make it sound like, oh, it's a big problem. We haven't figured it out yet. If two circuits produce the same result, it should be correct. Okay, yeah, as you go up, there's going to be more radiation. Yes, hello. Ah, shit. Yeah, they go into where it comes from. They don't know where it comes from. Yeah, okay, so bullshit. This is bullshit. This is all bullshit. So I just want to talk about this kind of silly crap that's going to be coming out on the PSYOP cycle coming up. Anyway, this is Man Free World. I'm Chris Lapadolis, Athanas, Thesiopoulos. I'll see you later.